Hi all, welcome back to Codecraft Academy channel. If you are coming for the first time, please do hit subscribe and bell icon for more technical tips and tutorials. In the part 1 video, we have added some data to the Redux store and shown it on the screen using a React component. If you see here, so in the first part what we discussed is we created post list component, React component, and then we read the data from Redux store, and then we displayed onto the UI. So in the second part, what we are going to do is we are going to create a form to add new post and then display it on the screen. Okay, let's create a add new post form fields. Okay, let me create in the post folder. Let me create a new JS file to add or to create a new post and then save it. Okay, for that what I can do is add new post. Let me create this. Inside it, what we are going to do is, so this component is to provide a form to the user to create a new post. Okay, for that, so once we create a new form, we are going to add it to the navigation path. So before that, let me add into the navigation first, and then this is in navbar. So in app.jsx, let's come here and then add that component whatever we added for new form post. So I'll be adding it on top of the post list component. Okay, so here add new post, let me add it. Okay, yeah, the error is because since we are returning multiple components, it's throwing error. So let me add a fragment here. Pen. Okay, sorry, here it went wrong. If you see, okay, here let me add this and then copy paste this into here. Now we are good. So now I have add new post form on top of post list React component. So it's showing here. Now let me add the components or HTML code to the add new post component. Okay, so what we're doing here is we'll first create an empty form and then add it to the page. So we created that React component here, add new post to React component, and we added to the page as well. So now the thing is we will after adding form structure, we should connect with the Redux store so that new posts are added when we click the save button. Okay, let me add a form structure here first. So for that, what I'm going to do here is let me add a section. Inside section I am going to add a form. Okay, inside section I'm going to add a form. Okay, form. So inside form, our form should look like we should have two input box. One is to accept the title and other is to accept the content, and one button, that is save button, save post button. Okay, for that let me add div, and inside div let me add a label for post title, and the label is post title. So now the next thing is input box. So type is text. The input box which we are going to add is kind of should accept the text, and then let me add a name attribute, that is post title, and then id equal to post title and okay, this is about this thing. Yeah, let me save and then see how it looks. Okay, we don't have any styling added, right? We'll add a style later. Let me add the basic style first and then see how it looks. Class name, I'm adding a border. Yeah, see here, now you are able to see post title and then input box to enter post title. In the similar way, I'm going to add one more container, that is div, that is title, a label, and then input. So this is for post content. I just copy pasted, so to save time, post content, and then this content type should be, I mean, we should not use input element for this. We should use text area, since we gonna enter a lot of data in content section. Okay, so we don't require this type. Okay, we don't require the type, and then few other attributes we don't need for text area. And then yeah, let be name, let it be id, let's change name to content and id also to content. So let's see. So yeah, now post content as well we added. Yeah, we'll deal with the styling once we are done with the form. Okay, basic form. I'll add more CSS classes for style. Okay, and then the next thing is we added title, content. Now the thing is, to save the data, to save the post data, we should have a button. Okay, we should have a button. For that, let me add a button. So button type should be button only, type button, and the name is save post. Okay, save post. Okay, let me add class name, let me add border, and then color green, bg green, let me add 600. Okay, yeah, so this is the basic okay, we forgot to add title or header. For that, add new post. Okay, let me add one header inside section before form. Let me add header, that is add a new post. Okay, this is basic form to add post. So let me add styling. So I'm going to use Tailwind CSS for style. Okay, for this section, max width on large screen, and then max auto on normal, margin top 10. I'm adding padding 4, and then border, and border color is gray, border or dear border gray, border gray, rounded to have a round structure. Okay, and then to add shadow SM. Let's see now we got the form on center. Okay, let me add a style for this header as well, that is add a new post, for which I'm going to add first these. Let me increase this font size, text to XL, and then semi bold, font bold or semi bold, whatever I am using, font bold. Move the text to the center, text center, and margin bottom 4. Okay, let me save it. See now it moved there. So now the next thing is we should add a style to the form section, that is inside form. I'm going to add style for div container MB4. Yeah, we got some space here. Next thing is add style for this label. Class name, block display, text SM, font medium. Okay, text color is text gray 700. Okay, let me save this. Yeah, see now we are good now. So next thing is for the input. Where is the input? This. For the input class, let me add style. The thing is, let me add margin top 1, and then displays block display, width full, border we added, so border. Next thing is border color gray. Let me add 300 for border color, and then rounded medium. Now let's add shadow SM. Focus. When we have a focus, I want to show some differentiation. When we are focus, add a ring of color indigo, ring indigo, and then focus. When we have a focus on the element, let's add border as well, border color. Okay, border indigo 500, and then on small screens, text should display small. Okay, now let's save it. Yep, see, when we highlight, we are seeing when we have a focus, we can see the border color changing to indigo. If you want to see exactly the difference, let me add border 0.2, border 2. See here, now you can see the when we have a focus on element, we are changing the color of border and then all those things. Okay, let me set it back to 1. So we are done with this thing. Now let add a style for the other, that is post content section. Okay, in the post content section, what we are going to do is we are going to add a style. Okay, let me add style for, again for div container, I'll be adding a margin bottom 4, and for HTML label, class name block display, text size, font size, text SM, font medium. Okay, let me save this font medium and then add a color as well, font text color, which we added to the post title. Same font text gray 700. Let's save this. Yep, we are seeing now. Let me add styles for text area. So for that, what I'm doing is in the similar way how we added for post title input. Let me add border 1, sorry, top margin top 1, and then display block, border. Okay, we already added border, right? Border color is gray 300. Round it, add shadow, and then similar way focus. Let me copy paste from here since it's same, right? Let me save. Yep. Okay, we missed width, which should also be same as. Okay, why the border is not visible? Okay, let me go and check. Oh, sorry, we added this. Yep. So now add class name, that is width full. Yep. Okay, now we are good. Width full is showing, and let me add number of rows and number of rows for text area, and then required column, required attribute. Okay, now it's good. Now it's looking good. So let me add style for button now. Okay, we already added border and color, but we should add few more here. Let me add width full, padding on y-axis 2, on x-axis 4, border we added, and then border color, background color we added. Okay, let me add some transparency to the border, transparent, and text SM, rounded medium, text white, when we hover over, we want to have a different background color, that is we want to have a different background color, and then yeah, that's it. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, cool. So this is our form to add a post. Okay, now we are done with adding a post. But now the thing is, when we enter values into this post title and content, we should hold those values, and then we should pass them to the Redux store when we click on the save post. So for that, what we have to do is let me add you make use of use state. to capture the title and then content. Okay, to capture the title and content. For that, let me add here, let me add state constant title set title use state. Initially it will be empty. Okay, similar way for content as well. Use state. Okay, now we added these two, and then here add a value property and then set it to the state variable. Title here, inside here content to state variable. So the thing is, now let's see whether it works on. See, when we let me add the title here. I am unable to enter values here. We added value property content here, and then here title. And we set it to the empty initially, right? Okay, we forgot to add event handler here. So when we enter something, we should change it to the on change. On change, we should update the state. Set title. Set title. Okay. E dot target dot value. Let me see. Okay, let me see now. Yeah, now I'm able to enter. In the similar way, we should add one more event handler, on change handler for content as well. Okay, here what we can do is we should replace this with content. Okay, now let me try entering third post content. So now if I click on this save, it's not, I mean, nothing will happen. So why? Because we haven't added any handler here. Okay, let me add a handler, that is whenever we click on button, that is on click. So on click, what we want to do is when we click on this, I want to create a function to call and perform some operation when we click on button. Okay, for that what we can do is I am going to on post saved or on post on save post clicked. On save post clicked, I am going to call this function. So let me add that function here. Const so when we click on that button, save post button, what I want to perform is I simply gather the title and content information and then pass and then send it back to the store. Okay, so for that what we have to do is, as we discussed, we are using Redux Store to manage our state, right? So for that we should add a reducer function inside slice our whatever the slice we created. So and then export the actions. So that action we're going to import here and then call when we click on save button. So for that what we're going to do is we're going to this slice here, and then we are going to add a reducer. The reducer is, let me add a reducer here, that is post added reducer, which takes two arguments. One is current state and the other one is action. Okay, so what we're going to do is whenever we whenever action of type post added dispatched, we simply get the data from the action.payload and then add it to the existing state, that is the state. So what we're going to do is state.push action.payload. So we simply add it to the current state. Okay, so the thing is what we're doing here is we added a function named post added, which will receive two arguments. The one is current state, and then the action object that was dispatched. So since the post slice only knows about the data it's responsible for, the state argument will be the array of post itself. Okay, and then whenever we perform that action, our new post entry will be in the action.payload. This we pass when we dispatch the action. Okay, and then this is going to be added to the existing state. We simply pushing to the existing state. Okay, now we added here. So when we write or when we add a reducer function, createSlice will automatically generate an action creator. This we discussed in the part 1 as well. The main use of createSlice is you no need to create action creators explicitly. This createSlice will create action creators for you. These action creators will return action objects which you can use in your React components to pass or to send actions or to dispatch actions. Okay, for that, so this will create it. For that what we have to do is, in order to create action creators automatically, we simply add one more statement, that is export. Okay, that is export, and then the name will be the same as reducer. Export const post added. I'm adding this is the action creator. Okay, sorry, equal to post slice dot actions. Okay, this will export the action creators, so which we can import and then use in your React components. So now we are done with adding reducer, that is post added reducer, and then we exported action creator as well. So now let me import here. So in order to use or in order to dispatch actions, what we're going to use, we're gonna make use of dispatch or useDispatch hook from the React Redux. Okay, for that let me constant dispatch equal to useDispatch. Okay, now we got access to the dispatch function. So this dispatch function we can call and then pass the respective action which we want to perform when we click on save post button. Okay, now for that what we're going to do is we first check whether title and the content are not empty. Okay, for that what we're going to do is, let me check, sorry, title and post should not be empty, that is, sorry, content of post should not be empty. Okay, if it is not empty, then what we're going to do is we simply dispatch post added, post added, for which I am going to pass. One thing is, see, for our post we should if you see the fake data which we created initially, is it is having id, title, and then post, that is content. So in the similar way we should pass id, but we don't know id, right? I mean we don't have a id, we haven't stored anything, so we just have title and content with us now. So for id to generate automatically, we can use nano id utility, which is coming from Redux Toolkit. Okay, I'm using that. And then title is, we already have a title in the state variable, that is title state variable, and then content state variable, content in the content state variable. Okay, now yeah, we have these things, we are dispatching using this. So now let's see whether our post will be saved or not when we click on save post, and then that post should be displayed automatically here. So now let me try third post, content. Okay, let me click on save. When we click on save, okay, some error came. It's added here. If you see here, third post is added, but it's throwing some error, that is serialization issue. What is that? Why we got this here? Payload.id. This is same as that, right? Nano id. Okay, what is the issue here? Okay, let's save. Yeah, it got reduced. Okay, it got disappear. Now the thing is, see, if you see here, whenever we want to add new post, we can simply enter values here, then click post. But if you see here, the values still persist which we enter in the previous save, but we want to make it empty so that we can enter new values whenever we want to add a new post. So for that, what we can do is we simply go here, and then after dispatching what I can say, action, I simply make it empty, set title to empty, and then in the similar way set content to empty, so that after saving the post, this will become empty. So now let's refresh, and then see, now let's refresh and then add third post, content, third post content. Let's save it. See, now it got, yeah, it got saved, and then this became empty. These two post title and then post content became empty. Okay, now we are done with adding a form to our application, which gives user to add new post, and then that gets displayed in the post list section automatically. So but how exactly this happened is, so the flow, if you observe the flow, we are, I mean, our post list reads the initial state of post from the store with useSelector, that we explained in the previous video, in the part 1 video. So and then here we are actually using a reducer function to add a new post, and then we dispatched a post added action and containing the data for our new post entry. If you see here, new post entry. But whenever we add or we dispatch this action, Redux Store tell the UI that some data has changed, and the post list read the updated post array and then display in the UI. That's how the flow happens. Okay, yeah, this is for second video. This you can observe in the Redux console as well. If you go here, F12, and then go to Redux, you can check all the actions. If you click on this post added reducer or action here, if you see here, whenever this action gets triggered or dispatched, we are calling this. So we are simply adding. Okay, if you see here, action here, this is the action, and then payload we are passing, that is third post, and then ID, and then state is this. So this state gets updated with the. Okay, I understood now why it's throwing error, this synchronization error, where it is. Yeah, we added ID here and then nano ID. We are passing this to post slice action.payload. Okay, now understood. So when we are adding this, why it's showing error? ID is not coming here. We are passing post added. We simply added this and then we are calling this reducer. Okay, if I did a mistake, it should be a function, not nano ID. Now let me try. Let me refresh and then try and then see here. Let me add third post. Third post content. Now click on save. Yep, it got added. Let me go to the dev tools and then Redux and then check our state. See here, yeah, now it added random ID. So the use of nano IDs, it will create a random unique ID. Okay, now it got added here, and then if you see here difference, this is the difference. So initially there are two posts, and then when we clicked on save post, it got added here. So there is a difference. And if you can see actions, what actions we call, this is the post added is the action which for which the payload is this payload. Okay, if you click on here, this also it will show you what exactly the action which we are going to call. When we click on this will even show the what I can say, that method or function inside which that is the JavaScript code which we call. So if you see here, this is the dispatch. This post added action will call this dispatch, from where which line of code you are calling, that it will show you here. Okay, this is the action. So this helps to debug your code whenever we get into issue. So you can come and see when we dispatch this action, at which line of code we are dispatching it. If you click on this, it simply point you to that line of code, and then if you want to see the difference of state, and then what exactly the state current state is like this. So, and then even action as well. So for action, what is the action we triggered, and then what is the payload we passed, everything will come into this section. Okay, this actually helps you. Even you can look at the chart as well, state and then payload type, and then what all we are passing to the payload, all those things. this actually help you to debug if at all any issues. Okay, yeah, this is for this part 2 video. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please do subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you. Thanks again.